Bitcoin has woken up and chose violence. We have the world's top asset managers in the world getting aggressive on their spot ETF applications and a massive leak of what to expect from GTA 6. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement. We are the bread and butter of all the information that's been swimming across the internet for crypto news.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Over 2 years, he's made like 17K on Roblox. And he's
What?
Like 12.
You never listen to me, and we must be married. Yeah, well, how much are you investing? $100.
400 to 600,000.
Do you
The
think it's
generational signals are now. Now.
You're spread so thin, that's how you get in on Snake. Snake's been my biggest winner.
We absolutely would have left it. What's up? Welcome one, welcome all. We have a special guest. We have a sneaky guest. I'll show you here in a minute, but we have a special guest. Jeremy, how you doing? What's up? You know, I've heard that you're quite skilled at Magic the Gathering, so we're probably going to go on a rant with BJ about it. But what's up? How you doing?
Hey, everybody.
You gotta get the mic closer.
Get up in there. Get up in there.
I'm surprised to be here. You know, I was
Sweet love.
okay.
Sweet love.
We got it all the way up here.
You can taste it.
I'm surprised to be here. I was walking down the street and the big bag came over my head, and the next thing I know, I'm in Blockchain Basement.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
Hit
how
network,
it
baby.
goes.
Surprise.
BJ, how you feeling?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. That is good. Hannah's out here, you know, sitting here making me be more begrudging against pudgy penguins the more that they move
At
up.
least they're not beholden for once. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
I did avoid that. You saw that. I
God.
purposely avoided it. But we also have a TA, Tim the TA man Taylor, up in the house. Let's check him out. What's up, Tim? No mic yet. We're going to get to it in a minute, but I have some key levels that we need to be looking at for Bitcoin. And, you know, I like hearing Tim's point of view. He's turned more bullish.
Do you think
over the years,
the price
or
might
months?
fall soon?
It's going to fall soon. A little
Might?
bit.
When fall? When
Hold
That's
on.
what we need to
It
know.
might fall. Oh, and this is when you go to the close-up and hit me in box. The close-up! The close-up! Jesus Christ, we went through this in rehearsal.
There it is.
I missed that part.
We
Oh
have
my
the
God.
technology. We just need to have the application now. But we're getting there. Look at, I got Uncle Joe here. Now I can like hold his hand all the time.
Help
when
him
we're
back up.
Yeah, I'm helping him back up.
Come on up,
Lending a
Joe.
helping hand, Uncle Joe, you know. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's happened, especially over the past few minutes of Bitcoin. But before I get into all the Bitcoin stuff, we have to look at what happened in Virginia last night. Absolutely crazy. Numerous reports of people hearing large explosions all the way from DC. This is a quick look at what occurred.
But I thought
Officers-
jet fuel didn't. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Well, these were they were serving a warrant. It's alleged this guy was like very anti-government and all this stuff. Honestly, looking at his posts and kind of the vibe that this guy gave
I like
off.
the shrapnel that looks like tannerite.
Oh yeah,
Like,
right.
some of that I'm like,
Right. I don't know. It kind of feels like psyop to me. I'm just gonna say it out loud. The way he was writing these anti-gov posts on his LinkedIn account of all places, it just seemed like it was someone that was a government plant that had to put theirself in that mindset. And yeah, this is no bueno to see types of explosions like this going on in suburbs of Virginia. So, that has to be noted. I'm going to be watching kind of the release of more
suburbs
information.
of DC, Arlington, Virginia.
What's
Is
that?
right outside of DC?
It's like 20, 30 miles away.
Yeah.
So the explosion was visible from the White House.
Are we
So
sure? Are we sure, Drew? This isn't just Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2 shooting.
It
They're
could
shooting
be
a new movie.
Well, I don't think a movie, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith could
Well,
be.
didn't the house blow up in
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs.? Yeah,
It was a duplex.
This is a chance that we might be seeing the beginning of Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2.
Oh my god!
And
No,
the real psyop that the government's hiding behind is Florida State not making the playoffs in college football. Them sneaking Alabama in there. That's the psyop. I mean, the internet and the sports community is so enraged. The government could literally do anything they want right now.
Yeah.
And people in the South would never know because they're still arguing about Bama versus Florida State.
So I think the real movie that they're filming is Mr. and Mrs. Mist, because their asses just got vaporized. in that.
Yeah, it did not look.
What
like
about
anyone
they and
survived.
them Smith?
They
Because
them?
gender neutral.
Were, you know what I mean?
Was, yeah.
and were. That's the new pronouns, right? That's a reasonable pronoun for that. So we have some what? Okay, Woo Blockchain Bloomberg analyst James Safard said that the BlackRock has once again submitted a revised Bitcoin spot ETF S-1 document to the SEC. Apparently, the SEC issued identical or very similar instructions to multiple issuers, basically kind of laying out the groundwork for how to be accepted. This is looking like it's getting closer and closer, as chaotic as a situation as it may be, to get these approved in time for our bull market. I think it's kind of coming. I have been of the opinion that they were just going to scam us out of it, but potentially the velocity of information and people wanting this has changed their ability to arbitrage humanity as a whole. That could be potentially why, in my mind, I'm not seeing the same clamp down on Bitcoin as we saw in the past with gold.
I mean, the clampdown is BlackRock.
The clampdown is BlackRock.
Like, it's bullish for the price, but they literally are going to manipulate and control it. Like,
Well, I'm in this cycle, and I'm not going to be, next cycle, I'm going to be looking at biotech on the stock market.
yeah,
obviously.
like
I think-
actual decentralized things
Yes.
and things that, yeah.
Yeah, that's my next move, like end of 2029, 2028. Asset management giant BlackRock filed a amended S1 filing, just as we just said. They're just pouring in. Bloomberg intelligence analyst wrote on X. We have another spot Bitcoin ETF that has amended tonight. So a lot of movement, a lot of paperwork being shuffled for the top asset managers on the planet that are looking to get their direct access to spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is going to be insane. Tim, we've talked about it a little bit on this show in the past, but let's just say we do get this approved. And we know that there is a supply shock brewing on exchanges of actual Bitcoin held.
Yeah.
So
It's 3% of the total, correct?
right. It's they don't hold much.
Yep.
Tim, do you think that they're going to have to kind of waterfall this process and basically just let a few in at a time to supply that demand? Or how do you see this rolling out if we do get that approval?
Yeah, no, it's going to work in the way of manipulation, and they're going to be able. Look at who's getting in here. We're talking about BlackRock. We're talking about Fidelity. We're talking about, even though they're not one of the ETF people, JP Morgan is going to get more higher position. What are these companies known for historically? And I think I talked about this last time I was on here, but go back and look at their histories. They are known for spreading fake information, and because they own pretty much every major news outlet, they have the perfect ability to do so. So when no one wants to sell and there needs to be some sort of sell, they can manipulate the news. When no one wants to buy and they want to try to find a way to sell their crypto, they'll come up with some sort of way. I don't know what this just popped up on my screen is not letting me.
Well, speaking of
this. All right, there you
ownership, isn't JP Morgan pretty much own MetaMask?
Consensus
Goodness.
connections you're talking about with MetaMask. There's slight
Have they
connections
applied
there.
for a ETH ETF?
JP Morgan, no.
Because
JP
that
Morgan.
seems interesting if they are pretty heavily involved in ownership of one of the largest used wallets that they haven't applied for.
I don't think it's direct JP Morgan relationships.
I mean,
though.
shell company's a shell company, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
They separate it. Yeah, JP Morgan's kind of an interesting one to think about for me. I mean, they have quite a historical context. Like JP Morgan, made up 40% of American capital during its first financial crisis in 1895, all the way up to 1907. Basically was the backbone of what we know now as the Federal Reserve Central Bank. And JP Morgan was very adamant about creating a central bank to get the burden of being in front of the public and having to deal with all of the blowback that the public sends to the central bank, being a privatized organization. So JP Morgan himself was in charge at the time. And recently we saw that they are more so leaning into the Onyx blockchain, a very privatized blockchain, but they have built some connections. I know that there's a few. I think Avalanche is part of the blockchains that they're looking to integrate with. There's a few larger layer ones that JP Morgan and Onyx blockchain are open to building those roads to. But yeah, I mean, if BlackRock gets a spot Bitcoin ETF, it'll be interesting to see how JP Morgan treats like actual crypto spot. You know what I mean? Because they could have some definite drive on the market. They're a big player.
Well, I don't know if I've told you this on this channel. So back when I was at Crypto Jebs, there was one of the employees. He was in school to go and work in massive investing, for investing firms. So he ends up, I think right now he's actually at JP Morgan, but down in Orlando. But he had friends that worked in corporate. And they all told him, and I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to get anyone in trouble, but they all told them, like, they knew Jamie Dimon. We're talking about from 2-3 years ago. Jamie Dimon has been stacking sats for a long time now.
Yeah, and there it is, C90 FTW calling it out. This is what I was remembering. JP Morgan Chase acquired an influential stake, or I think that means over 10%, in 2 consensus flagship products, MetaMask and Infura. So they are plugged in.
Just another reason I love ETH.
Just for that reason, you do really love Ethereum,
love it.
don't you? I know. Yeah, you get the warm, fuzzy feelings about it. I've seen it.
I love non-determinism in all of my relationships.
I saw Crypto Stevo was going nuts about the gas fees last night. They're like 70 gwei.
Yeah, it
took a little bit.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, just absolutely kind of painful.
I appreciate him. He's kind of quieted down about the ETH Cardano thing.
But wasn't it just like a month ago that like it was actually cheaper to exchange on Ethereum than Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
So like how the tides have turned.
Yep.
And then again, that's I still think Ethereum's gonna have a great bull market, but I do think that's gonna be one of the things is like when you talk about the potential of Ethereum, might not get to its potential in this bull market because of that. Like it just gets very annoying. Now, very good news for the likes of like Matic and Optimism and other layer 2s, but Ethereum, yeah, I'm still keeping that a small percentage of my portfolio at this point.
Well, Solana is getting some notice. And I saw a chat, someone in the Asfar wants me to go on a tangent about Link. I might just do that, but I'm definitely going to be covering Solana. I am heavily overinvested in Chainlink. I believe it's going to be one of the top performers. Maybe I'll check out the price action. Really hasn't had any big news release other than staking, but holding its good price right around $15. But here's an interesting note about Solana while we're on the subject. Year's best performing crypto token tied to Sam Bankman-Fried. Obviously, we all know that. But the thing about it is that some digital asset, Murphy, head of digital asset research at VanEck is going nuts. They are going head over heels into crypto. Told Bloomberg that Solana's recovery this year is proof that the project has moved beyond the FTX overhang. Basically just highlighting it was riddled with those network outages, which we all highlighted definitely when they happened. Solana has only seen one such incident this year, which is good to note. It's been a whole year with only one. Thank God. I mean, it shouldn't ever go down, right? But now in this upcoming bull cycle, Solana is going to encounter that stiffer competition with different basic chains that are coming out like SEI, Aptos, and SWI that are going to give it a run for its money, but it is going to be a more contentious layer 1 race. And I think Cardano's in this realm. I think Solana's in that realm. I think AVAX. But also these SEI, Aptos, and SWI are much smaller than the ones that we're already talking about. So we haven't done any justice on not covering those projects, but they are at a much smaller market cap. They are not mainstay yet.
And horrible token unlocks.
It's
horrible
token
vesting
unlocks,
schedules.
That's what that's where a little bit of the worry comes from. And
also, before speaking of not having worry, Edward Middleton says, does anyone know if the Arculus wallet is safe to buy through Amazon? So the good doctor, Adam Lowe, specifically said they're really good at shipping. So yeah, it's totally safe to buy it through them.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're buying it from an official one.
And I always like to just go straight to the website.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that is an option.
Yeah. Let's see. We got the mainstream media talking about Bitcoin. I haven't even heard this, but this just broke right before we went live. Let's check this out. You ready for this? Dun-dun-dun.
He's got a button now.
The halving, I've heard it called the halvening or the halving, but either one. We're getting to that in April, I think, right? And that's been a bullish thing before. I sort of wonder, is it the same thing though? Is that already getting priced in, or is there something technical that actually happens that would make it be priced in closer to the event?
So so what we've seen historically is that the 12 to 16 months after a halvening is the best performance of Bitcoin. So that's what everybody's thinking about. This time might be different because the price of Bitcoin's higher. We now only have, I think it's 900 Bitcoin a day that come out, so that gets cut in half. It's not a lot of Bitcoin, but what it does do is it makes Bitcoin more scarce than gold. So for the first time in history, you have an asset that is more scarce than gold.
In what way more scarce?
Let's call it a stock to flow ratio. So the amount of Bitcoin mined every year divided by the amount outstanding, same with gold. And now there'll be, quote unquote, less Bitcoin than gold mined on a relative basis.
All right.
Wait, 900 come out a day? I thought it was like 50.
I can't remember the exact amount that come out every day, but the point I was thinking about with this is that this is a major mainstream publication talking about the Bitcoin making things even more scarce. I mentioned that we're right on the edge of that supply shock for exchanges, talking about a lot of validation that we do expect a Bitcoin having to come down, or a Bitcoin spot ETF. Tim, this leads me to where I want to ask you, where do you think we are in the markets right now? You know what I mean? Like, because we're a few months from this January timeframe. Or January 10th is like 1 month away. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's right around the corner. So, what do you got? What do you think we're gonna do on the charts here?
Yeah, if you're talking about let's just pretend, and I think there's a good chance this happens. Let's pretend that we're going to see another 4-year cycle once again. Where are we in the market right now? It's not going to be a perfect 4-year ago thing, but there is something that happened pre-halving that I think we're doing something similar to. I don't know if you go to my screen now, Owen, if it's still connected. There we go. And I don't know if you just take me down or put me in the bottom right. There we go. That's perfect. All right. So this is the bull market of 2017, 2018, and then the bear market of 2018, 2019. A little bit ago, I thought we'd already peaked out. Like I compared the 32,000 or 31.8 that we got to here a couple months ago to the peak up here, and then I was saying, all right, here's the pullback. We're doing a similar pullback.
Hold on, I think we have a different screen.
A different chart. All right, so is it doing this thing where
I think you're frozen, and also
let's do this again. Let me open this up again. Yeah,
I like your pickleball bookmark.
You have pickleball in your bookmarks?
Upper right hand corner.
Yeah,
unbelievable. You've been exposed.
All right, do you see my screen right now?
See what we got. Squiggle? No. Nothing.
That's not the same screen. That is a zoomed in screen.
Oh man, this is not smart.
All right, try it again. refresh it to
Enhance.
see.
Well, you got to shut your NDI down, and then
I did. I mean, I canceled it. I'll do it again. I'll do it again for you.
There it is.
No.
There it is.
All right,
There
guys.
it is. We got it moving.
Entertain them. Come on,
Yeah.
sing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I don't. This. I'll show you what I'm looking at here.
I was getting to a point. Ultimately, a lot of people are gonna be tempted to look at the 4-year cycle and look for a perfect, like, hey, what was the price doing in December of 2019? When in reality, what we're really looking at is a similar move to what June and July looked like in 2019.
Okay.
That's kind of what, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get it here in a second. I don't know if they see it just yet, but that's what we're getting to right now. And there's more similarities than just one. This is going to be radio version of technical analysis. You guys love it. Back in 2019, we rallied. We hit that bear market bottom. We rallied. We hesitated right above the 0.5% level, the 50% level on the log chart. We also had a level of resistance that is still in play today that we wrestled with, and then we went on to rally up through the golden pocket, touch the platinum pocket, and then that was our top, right? Well, currently what we've done here recently is we wrestled with back there that 31,000, that was the 0.5, the 50% Fibonacci level, and then we recently just blasted through golden pocket, and that platinum pocket is sitting up at $50,100 right now.
Oh my God!
Close and do it again. Okay.
$50,000, huh? That's it. This is mine. Now you have kind of mine out. This is the kind of the chaos I was looking at. Is that we touched there? Ooh, there's.
Oh, look at that! You guys can see my text message to T Shroom.
Oh God.
I think we're good now. I think we're
Let's see. Let's test it again.
Yeah,
What do
well,
we got?
something at this point.
Let's
I took
see
the
if
time
we
to
can
fix
get
it.
feet pics.
Yeah.
Is it
no,
broken still?
Unfortunately, it's just a bunch of thumbnail discussion, but you know,
I think
it
he's
could
got
get more
it.
interesting.
Let me pull it over. Pull it over.
You want to see my text messages?
No, pull his
Oh,
screen
okay.
over. That's it, right? There it is.
I think that's it. Yep,
Yeah.
we're moving.
There,
we're
we made
cooking
it.
with
Look
sauce.
at that. Look
All
at
this
that.
stuff I was talking about the other day. If you put me down, because I'm blocking half the
Get
chart.
outta
I'm talking about what I'm talking about here is this is the November, October, December period right here. When in reality, this is the similar move. So what I was kind of walking through here, top of the bull market down to the bottom of the bear market. We wrestled right there around that 0.5, kind of pulled back. This blue dotted line, keep that in your mind. We blasted through there. We went through the golden pocket. That's the 0.618, 0.65 on Fibonacci. And you guys can see right here, the week of June, we peaked out, hit our platinum pocket. That's the 0.786 level. And then we pulled back. We pulled back actually 54%, came back down to a serious level of former resistance, turned into support. Of course, COVID ruined all this. It skewed a lot of information, but you can't call for a repeat of a black swan event. So there's no consistency there, but keep it on that blue dotted line.
I'm not cooking black swans into my.
As we're moving back here, again, top of the bull market, bottom of the bear market, right? We come up here, we wrestle with the 0.5 level, we blast through. This is the same blue dotted line of resistance all the way back here. It has still been in play. You can see it was used as resistance several times here within this bear market. We blasted through. Today, we just decided, you know what? It's not enough just to get to the top of the golden pocket. We're going to go above it. And right now, we are making a move up here. We're kind of almost midway between that golden pocket, platinum pocket sitting right here again, 50,000, about 185, give or take. When we zoom in, I made a video this morning, and I thought it was going to take more time for this to play out, but I talked about this morning a $44,000 price coming. I actually said 44.2, so it hasn't hit my exact price just yet. But we had a bull pennant right here. You guys can see a nice flag. This is a conservative.
I remember you talking about it.
Very conservative price prediction with this flag right here. Breakout. We're almost to that point, but there's a more aggressive one. Going to the 4-hour chart so I can zoom in a little more. I'm interested to see how many people do this and draw this flagpole from down here. And then move this over. This would give us a breakout prediction up here to that 46.5.
Good Lord.
So I don't even know if that's where the top's going to happen. I'm just saying this stuff was on the charts. I made a video about this morning over on Investing Bros. This conservative one is playing out very nicely. I am interested to see if we start to get a pullback. The 4-hour chart is not flashing an overbought at the moment, even though we're overextended, but hourly chart and down, we are getting a lot. RSI is high. These boxes here are called overbought boxes on the chart prime oscillator. You'll see it on the 1 hour. You see it on the 15-minute. You see it takes forever to load, so I might just kind of blast on through. But you're seeing them on all the lower time frames. I'm not going to be surprised. I thought it would happen at 33 just because of the psychological level, but not going to be surprised if we do see a pullback. Let's go to the 10-minute chart. A pullback somewhere in the same range as where we kind of pulled back before. I'm still looking around the 43.6, maybe even right down towards 43.1 as a potential pullback after, whether we topped that already or whether we're going to hit 44.2. But do not be surprised if what you're kind of watching even right now, are we reloading here on the 10-minute chart with another pennant of kinds? If I were to get rid of this line right here, let's draw this, get rid of my oscillators as well. You're seeing a little bit of a range right here on the 10-minute chart, a little bit of a range of support developing with, now people are going to go different places here, but kind of let's just go ahead and do it flat for now. Let's see how this plays out. But that potentially could be another bull flag pattern happening here. Let's see where this one sends us. Is this going to give us confirmation of what I was talking about before? We also might have to redraw this at a certain point based off where we go. This would give us a call up here to about 45.5. So that doesn't quite send us up to that 46.5 prediction we talked about before, but still very bullish. I want to see how this plays out more, but with us being more overextended on these lower time frames, I'm at least predicting we're going to continue to trade sideways right now. I could be wrong here. I don't think that we are going to see another surge today. We're pretty overextended. Another reason why, look at this high volume that even though we technically have one more surge that went higher, a lot of times when you go back and look at price action, tops and bottoms, or at least where the momentum slows down, you will see a surge in volume at the correction. You see it. Let's go out to the hourly chart. You see it back here. Look right here. This was the big chart that we had that fake news. Big volume comes in. Look at the next peak in volume comes in right at the top of that crazy rally back on October 23rd. And then if you go back to every single one of these push-ups, look at every single one of these peaks in volume. We got peak right here, top. Peak right here, top. Peak right here, bottom actually. Peak. Every one of these peaks is coming at a reversal. So the fact that we had another peak in volume does lead me to believe, hey, at least for right now, I think the explosiveness is over. Let's trade sideways for a day or two, and maybe 3 or 4, maybe another week, maybe we do another sideways action.
Largest peak since if you go back to the, that's the largest peak
since this explosion back on October 23rd.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Which is International Mole Day.
International Mole Day?
Yeah. Avogadro's number 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Nope.
Grams to Mole Town? Come on. International Mole Day.
I mean, now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
But yeah, that's the last peak that is larger than the current one. So, but in the charts, I mean, do you expect a pullback? I mean, based off that narrative, if those volumes basically correlate with inflection points.
Yeah,
I mean, with all that data, it correlates to an inflection point every time.
I still believe a pullback is going to happen. Yeah. I still believe, and people are going to say, but Tim, this is different. This is what I'm waiting for, though. It's not the charts, because the charts, you actually see this happen a lot. The charts will flash overbought on everything, and it'll keep pumping the upside. And there will come a time where you have to pay the piper. You know, at a certain point, we will correct. But at this point, what I'm waiting for, let's think through this logically. If the main piece of news that has been pumping this entire time is the ETF news, the release of it or an update to it is going to be the cause for the reversal. So either a denial, this is the thing that Josh made a video about last week that did very, very well over on Discover Crypto. Go check it out. There's a chance that everyone is so convinced the ETF gets approved on January 10th, the Grayscale ETF. What if because of recent things with Binance and others, Gary makes the case that manipulation is still a massive problem, and he denies Grayscale, and all of a sudden he puts a doubt in the future of when the ETF will actually approve.
Denies Grayscale or denies BlackRock?
Just Grayscale. At that point, it would just be a denial of Grayscale.
Yeah, they're first. Yeah.
That could cause a crash. But then the other thing that people don't want to think about, but it's like if we're waiting for the approval of the ETF and we're hyping or buying up all of the hype before it happens, would that not be a buy the rumor, sell the release? So actually the day of the approval could be bearish. Either way, whether we get a denial or an approval, I think both of those will be used as the catalyst or an excuse for a lot of the whales and institutions that have been making bank on this run to take their profits, print scary articles to convince you to sell and drop back down, and then they can scoop up some lower price Bitcoin and the real bull market starts post-halving.
Yep.
That's not even the charts. I think the charts could allude to that as well. But that's my assumption of the sentiment in Bitcoin as when a reversal will come.
I mean, if you're evil genius, that's what you do, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
I've been saying that same narrative for a while.
Well, not
I
just
still
evil
think
genius,
it gets rejected probably around the 10th, and then you get it probably. I'm still shooting for February 2nd, that Friday.
Yeah, okay.
But you're saying you don't think?
Well, I mean, really, what I was thinking about here is I think it's reasonable to capture 50K, kind of over the next month or two. But then the pullback after the halving, that's where my mind goes. Is like if we're pulling back from around $45,000, $50,000 at the time of the halving, that'll still, last cycle it really did pull back pretty good. But there was a black swan event that played into the situation.
Not the one we're talking about though. So go back to my chart here. Again, we're not talking about the pullback that happened because of COVID. The rally right now, I think, is similar to this rally, right? The truth is, the news that kind of tops out here was more of like there was a lot of bullishness about China, and then there was some China FUD where China was like, I don't know if we like Bitcoin or not, and that's what kind of was the excuse for this pullback. But look at this, like this right here from the bottom of the bear market was a 340% rally. I am sure you're back in the platinum pocket. You're not really that far away from the previous all-time high. I'm sure that everyone at that time, I was not heavily involved in Bitcoin at this time. This was kind of like getting right before I got into Bitcoin, but I'm sure that people were bullish back here.
Yeah.
Well, look at this though. People are super bullish, and then we see a 54% pullback. That had nothing to do with COVID.
Right.
Even though I think COVID was starting to become a thing here in October, December. That was well after a lot of this fall had happened, right? COVID is right here. So what I'm looking at is we're seeing another thing where right now we're well over 100 and something percent up, but from the bottom of the bear market, we're like 180%, give or take.
That's juicy. God,
that looks exciting, guys. I think we could keep rallying, get up here towards 50, be up 200 and almost 30%, 230%, give or take. and everyone's super bullish. And then again, it's like a bubble, and sometimes bubbles just need a little prick. They need a little excuse. And like I like the way that BJ put it there, an evil genius. If I was an evil genius, what would I do? Guys, BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, these institutions are evil geniuses. They have a long track record of using traditional finance to manipulate price so that they can gobble as much wealth as possible at the expense of their clients. If you don't think they're going to use that same exact tradition and use case in crypto, you're fooling yourself.
Well, no, I don't think it's a full fool because there's talking points against it. The increase in the velocity of communication across the world.
Yeah, manipulative
things
communication.
Hold on. It forces these entities to have to shift a little bit. Like if that information is free flowing and entire populaces are able to move in cohesion, the asset managers, these massive institutions, yes, they had an iron grip on society before. Now communication is becoming exponential. People have woken up, especially since flu season. I think that they might be at that tipping point where the velocity of communication is taking away their ability for arbitration. I
disagree.
Yeah.
I think that as long as there are people in this world who want to build massive amounts of wealth, to get wealth, you have to transfer it from the poor to the wealth. That's what their thought is. They have to transfer it.
Yeah.
They will find if you think that we're innovating science and we're innovating AI and we're innovating manipulators innovate. They think about new tactics, but it always comes to the same thing. It's a lie, it's a tactic, it's a manipulation, because for them to acquire more wealth, there's going to get to a certain point, Drew, where, no one wants to sell, but there's no more Bitcoin to buy. So how do you then affect the price? How do you then apply that, right?
What the hell's going to happen then?
Literally.
That's where manipulation happens, where it's like, all right, we need to sell, but no one wants to buy. Let's create a narrative. Guess what? We own every single major news station. And yes, while a lot of people in the crypto world kind of watch Twitter and other things, there's still millions of people who will be invested in Bitcoin who watch Bloomberg and they watch NBC and they watch Fox and they watch all of them. They will use their news outlets to manipulate information, to manipulate stories, to cause a grand fear. And when there's masses of people who get that afraid, now they want to sell as well. So watch what I'm actually looking for. I'm going to put my money more on an approval. I think the top of this rally is going to be an approval because isn't everyone assuming when you're a retail investor, wouldn't you assume the day they approve it, you should buy? Is that not the perfect excuse for BlackRock who wants to sell, but they're realizing it's running out of buyers? Let's get that good news. Now we'll have millions of retail investors who are like sheep who now think, oh, price of 50,000, we got a new ETF. Everyone's talking about how bullish this is. Let's buy. Well, now they just got their exit liquidity. They sell to the idiots. They then short the market, bringing the price down, ruining all those new retail investors. We know this. Dumb people buy tops, smart people buy bottoms. Then, as they're starting to really try to shake out the market, where even some of the people who have been here for a while are convinced, they don't need to convince you zero. If the price starts heading back below 40,000 and then starts to hit below 35,000 and then starts to get close to that 31, 32, but there's articles talking about how bearish Bitcoin is and we really easily could go back down to 20,000. We could go to 15,000. They start to put off this news that says we're just beginning the dip. Now, the dumb retail investors and intermediate retail investors, they're continuing to sell. They're like, I'm not buying this. I want to double my Bitcoin. I'll wait till 20,000 to buy.
Yeah.
And now they can buy back in because there's still lots of entry liquidity. They buy back in. They buy so much, all the crashing stops. Price begins to pump back up. And now by the time you jump back in, you're going to miss out on a lot of gains. This is the evil genius strategy that they've been using for hundreds of years. And in my opinion, they're going to keep using for a couple hundred more years. I don't think, even with how brilliant crypto and Bitcoin is, manipulation will never stop. It's just a part of our humankind.
It's not really about just crypto. That's about communication expediting. You know what I mean? The pinch points for communication have indefinitely changed. There is no arguing against that. Then yes, they can control it to certain degrees, but it's like trying to capture a cat on an open prairie. It's tough to do.
So what's the lesson here? DCA is the way.
Well, and I'm in a bullish uptrend here. So I'm getting back into trading. I've been using Blowfin, and I was just doing some scalps, testing out this site last night. I absolutely can love this site. It immediately puts in my orders. You can see my little scalp chaos, and I come in here and set up the live stream, and then this thing just so I'm going to be getting more into trading. I like, me personally, I've had good success only trading when we have a bullish sentiment going on. You know what I mean? I'm not good at shorting, but I am pretty good at longing. So I'm going to be getting more into that scalp trading. If I'm not, I'm not busy enough as it is. I'm hella busy as it is, but I feel the absolute juice in the markets coming back. Lee, shout out to you with the super chat, brothers. Glad to see you rising as well, my man. I saw another question. Is it too late to get out of XRP? Let's talk about this.
Everybody, I will say I've heard it in the office, like from multiple people, and also on Twitter, just the sentiment around XRP right now. Everybody is wanting to get rid of their XRP. I've heard it multiple times.
I got out of XRP. I did.
Drew sold some XRP. Owen said he wants to sell his XRP. Everybody's thinking it's like.
Does anybody want to ask if I sold my XRP?
You don't have any XRP.
Yeah, I never bought it.
Hates XRP. I still don't hate XRP. Jenna XRP, if you guys knew her, it's Jenna X now, not Jenna XRP.
She just got engaged.
She did.
Yeah.
Congrats. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She was on ATB yesterday, and she used to be Jenna XRP, and she said she's recovering. She's no longer all in on XRP.
That happened right when they won the lawsuit.
Right. I'm like, they won, and now
down.
everybody wants to get out of it. It's interesting.
It's just why would they make the future of finance so blatantly obvious? Why? What sense would it make? It feels like a giant psyop to me at this point. I've been holding XRP and been definitely in the conspiracy mill and looking at all the overlaps of central bank workers into Ripple, yada, yada, yada. And I just, I have a few thousand of them left, but I'm really not enthused by it. It's not sparking joy. Nova said earlier in the chat, up only is pain, max pain, potentially. But this is crypto. You guys got to, we have, some super bullish stuff that happened over the past, few weeks, obviously. But what we were just talking about, a drop back down to 35,000. Yeah, take that screen here. Let's see what it looks like here. This is not, this is literally just the shelf that we only created not, what is this, 2 months ago? This is 23rd of October. So this is a pretty recent shelf, and yes, it's freaking awesome to see the price taking off. Here's just the grand scheme of things. Here was the line that was created when Max Payne was up only last time, right? This could potentially be, a similar situation. They always say history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. I often find that to be exactly true. It usually goes in the same processes. The weird thing about seeing the talk about Bitcoin halving before it actually happens was odd for me, because usually the mainstream media doesn't let people know what's actually going down.
Until it's the top.
Yeah, until it's the top.
Until you become exit liquidity.
Exactly.
So, Drew, that brings me to a question that I've had for you in this whole discussion, right? Because you're talking about the velocity of information exchange, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's a lot of people are blowing up my phone while you're talking about it. They're arguing that the velocity of the information that people are sending actually allows for the mainstream media to spread their stuff faster, because then people who wouldn't ordinarily consume it are sharing it with their friends, relatives, family members, and stuff like that.
That's valid. Okay, yeah. So I can hear that, but you're seeing more citizen journalists actually be preferred for actual news,
if you find
a large degree.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's finding those? Because I think for every one person that discovers a citizen journalist easily via velocity, they're getting 10 messages on their WhatsApp from their aunt. That's
go ask 100 people if you've ever heard of Substack.
Right.
Well, yeah,
I would say 5%
is
know
a
what that
strong
is.
example of this. He left
whom?
Tucker Carlson left Fox and absolutely dwarfed their viewership on his own, not being on the leash of mainstream media. We saw this at Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, but then also larger publications at MSNBC and all of them. They tried to leave Twitter. They tried to leave the citizen journalist realm, and they cannot keep up with that news cycle. So they are on there, even though they disagree with all the views that are allowed to be expressed on the area.
Who's to say they didn't fire him for everybody who's see, what he was saying was true. Now he's gone, and then they manipulate him from there. I'm not saying that's what happened, but there is the false flag that can be done. I'm not saying that's what happened.
That's false flag on a false flag. Right?
I am bearish
it's a good move.
I'm bearish on Tucker Carlson generally because you know he matched Fox's views when he interviewed Donald Trump, right? Instead of doing the presidential debates. I think going on, you're going to see without the support of that mainstream media, he's going to just the viewership's going down. And he interviewed Marjorie Taylor Greene, last week, and almost nobody watched it.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good example.
Marjorie's a tough sell, though.
So, if you know who Jennifer Dewan is, raise your hand.
Nope.
If you know who Shinya Yamanaka is, raise your hand.
Nope.
So if you're saying that information is spread very well, these are people who've literally changed medicine. Between what Shinya Yamanaka did with being able to do induced pluripotent stem cells, you can be your own autologous donor for any transplant that you would need. He has basically gone into the Shinya.
This is a tongue twister.
I can't say that right.
What was that?
The Nakayama factors for basically being able to prolong life. And then Jennifer Dewan, basically a genome editing system that you could call genetic Photoshop. So we literally can change the face of medicine, but yet nobody knows these people's names. So when you're saying information is more freely available, Yamanaka did this work back in 2007. You have had now close to 20 years to know his name, and you don't. But yet you know Tucker Carlson's name.
That's more medical industry, though.
No, that it's the same thing. You can't cherry pick what information is shared around. The fact that information has intentionally not been shared.
Well, I think the medical industry has a stronger arm in shutting those types of studies down. That's why we're so excited about DeSci,
but therefore
right?
the media does as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm actually bearish on DeSci in a sense that you already have Pfizer.
Really?
You have Pfizer and everybody else already coming in on it.
That did worry, yes.
Speaking
that did worry.
Which bothers me.
Yes,
Pfizer.
What's up?
Have y'all been seeing these commercials?
What commercial? Why are you whispering to me?
These commercials for pneumonia. And
mystery pneumonia.
And the new Pfizer vaccine.
The new lockdown try?
To prevent the pneumonia, I guess.
So they already have a fix for it, is what they say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, that sounds like a production line. You create the problem, then you have the solution.
This is where I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, I know.
See. I saw it on
when
TV
the camera's on, I'm quiet about
some
of this stuff.
I know. We're definitely going to get banned if we go down here. But, we've seen in the past these scary situations in that realm seem to be very profitable for the people that are in power of the patents in the creation of the original product.
Yeah. But the TLDR of all that is there's an absolute truncation point on what knowledge comes in or out. Regardless. I mean, we are in the age where you can basically look up anything. Question is, are you going to get accurate information? I typically tell people for certain things like in biomedical and things like that to use Google Scholar, but even that's starting to get a little bit weird.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, but it's just like, where are you getting your information from?
Well, is it a primary source or not? The information's out there. You just have to figure out how to search for it the right way. Like treat your Google search bar like a math equation where you're treating like a Boolean search. You use quotations, you lump specific words together and then specific types of documents within that request. And you can get to the guts of the internet. It is out there. But you need to learn Boolean searching for yourself to be able to find all that information. There's a lot of stuff out there. We did have kind of a sad moment. I know everything's going great in crypto, but we lost, looks like Patrick McHenry, a great advocate for crypto, is retiring.
Also, everybody wants some alpha here. Can you click on his picture real quickly?
Ooh.
So if he's retiring,
yeah.
Speaking of tying, I would put in all your shorts on bow tie companies right now.
Oh.
Definitely, that is the leverage trade you should do.
Bearish for bow ties?
It's very bearish for bow ties.
Oh my goodness.
No, bow ties are so cute.
They're are,
cute.
but
bullish on bow ties.
their number one spokesman is stepping down.
Sad day, man. Yeah, he's retiring, end of his current term. Season for everything, and for me, the season has come to end. Good on him for retiring before the age of 130 years old. I'm glad that he is retiring at a reasonable age where he's not 20 years beyond cognitive abilities.
Why do you keep emphasizing tie when you say retiring?
Retiring?
Yeah, the joke is over.
Because I'm from Colorado. That's why. Let's see what else we got here. We got a lot of news here. Argentina.
So we have an actual comedian here. I apologize. You guys are stuck with me.
Yeah. I mean, we make do. We make it by. It's been a bear market.
It is.
Bitcoin increasingly present in Latin America. This is just kind of interesting because we were railing on this yesterday. Maybe someone was listening. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund, rumored by the CIA to be the richest nation on the planet, is eyeing a $50 billion Bitcoin investment. Absolutely stupid bullish if this goes down. but these are our front end reports and rumors swirling. So, what you got on?
It's a $500.
500, yeah.
Billion.
Yeah, $500 billion. That's $500 billion. That's a lot of money.
He was pointing out that you don't read numbers good.
I send it. That's what I do. I'm from the woods. The move from QSWF is likely motivated by the potential for substantial returns and increasing acceptance of Bitcoin as a legitimate asset class. So we are watching the situation pretty closely here. The $50 billion investment, if realized.
You did it again.
What? Oh, yeah, 500. Yeah, 500 billion. If realized, could have profound implications for the crypto market. Yeah, I mean, that's like, what is Bitcoin's total market cap at? It's like not even.
What, 700 bill?
I think it's not even a trillion. Look
Okay.
at this. It's 800
852?
bill. 850 bill right there. So that would be nasty. That would be just absolutely sack nasty time if we did see this from one of the richest locations on, if not the richest location on the planet. We sit here and fighting our own regulators and all this stuff, but crypto is happening across the world. We got to keep that in mind. This stuff playing in the background for the Middle East is insanely bullish for us, obviously, but it will probably push our legislation forward into finding regulatory clarity sooner rather than later, so they're not left behind. That's just my overscope thought of it over the next few years.
That Qatar's not left behind?
No, that the U.S. is not left behind.
Okay, yeah, I'm just pointing out that we're not the only country in the world.
No, I know.
No, I know you know that, but it's funny whenever we talk about this legislation and everything else. It's like, yeah, we may be a superpower in a sense, but we're not the only ones investing.
Oops, I played with BJ's heart.
Like, it'd be interesting to follow what kind of legislation that they do.
I know. We should dig into their regulatory framework to see how it's happening. This is just more stuff on the middle class, man, why it's so important to spread the message of crypto. Mortgage rates will need to fall to 5.5%, or the median price home has to fall by 22%, or medium income has to increase by 28%.
The middle one is the one that's definitely going to happen.
You think this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. The median price for homes falling 22%.
Oh, you think
absolutely going to happen?
I see that.
I've been watching houses for 6 months, and a majority of them are already 20%.
Well, and you're in a city center.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the prices fall
I'm
heavier.
looking inside the perimeter.
Why don't you come? Well, you talk about it like it's District 3 or something like that. The perimeter. What do you mean?
District 3 is this the Hunger Games?
Yeah, I know. You should come out to the woods with me, BJ. Come on.
There's woods inside the perimeter. There's some nice hidden areas.
Yeah, but you got like
With
people
lots of
creeping on you.
homeless.
So it's tough out there for the middle class, you guys, to get a home. The cost of living is outpacing our income pretty quickly. So it's very important. We also saw this 401k hardship withdrawals spiked by over 300%. A report from Fidelity Investments came out just explaining. Basically, they're just used in the case of last resort due to negative consequences. It entails, obviously, the taxes when you pull out early, pun intended. Negative consequences, additional 10% tax, possible penalties. And
I mean, personally, from my life experience, there's no penalty from pulling out early. But I guess this is different with 401ks. Did you really just blah me? Or did you sound more
late? He's like, he's all leaning back, all cool.
Oh, yeah.
No, imagine a mini BJ.
Where's my blaster?
A mini BJ out here spitting science
find
facts.
my blaster.
Be hilarious.
So yeah, man, people are pulling
Get on
out
it.
early, bullish and bearish on both ends. So finance a lot coming out. China's credit outlook downgraded to negative by Moody's. So just a little bit of move.
Can we get a shout out that we just hit 300 live?
Did we really?
Yeah.
Hey, and 100 likes.
Give it a
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
So where I was
Bum, bum,
bearish
bum,
on the
bum.
information of knowledge moving around and people caring, we're getting more people who care
See?
here. So
I
thank
told
you.
you. I told you.
All right. You got me. You got me.
See? Then we also had this. Something kind of weird happened. Somebody made billions of dollars shorting Israeli shares on Wall Street 5 days before the Hamas attack. Interesting. This is from Ryan Selkis of Messari. Hamas manipulated the stock market in order to funnel billions of dollars of insider trading profits to its militants. We must shut down the global stock markets. Senator Warren, he tags her just for...
That's so insane. His take is that Hamas did that?
Yeah.
That is so wild.
I mean, it's not that insane, you know?
Okay.
But it's that she was coming at crypto for like 2% of crypto transactions maybe being used for illegitimate things. And then he's pointing out, he's like, here's billions of dollars. Where are you at?
Yeah, you should probably get on this.
Hide your stocks.
Pocahontas.
Hide your insider trading. They're coming to get you. What is that? Devon, what's his name?
Oh my God. Shout out to Catch 'em All. Shorted the worst coin in existence. Made $1,000. Good for you, buddy. And it's not Hex. Very sad. So what are we?
Assuming it's 3 letters, though.
Yeah. We have this. Just note, Blur is dominating almost 80% of NFT trading volume. You got to keep in mind there's a lot of wash trading within that. I have seen NFT trading volume at large really, really picking up. I'm probably going to end up buying a Pudgy Penguin because I get yelled at by Hannah every single morning about it.
Listen.
So
the ones that listen, and the ones that don't.
Listen.
Also, I noticed a fact recently. Blur has the highest, what's the word?
Trading volume?
Highest trading volume, like by far.
Yeah.
They have a ton of people on their platform. But I think, they have the highest trading volume, but they have less users than OpenSea. OpenSea has a ton of users and their trading volume is so small. Like it's in like the double digits.
Or signed up users?
I think
probably just signed up because there are people that are left over from the last bull market. OpenSea was like the thing last bull market for NFTs. Like that's where everything was.
Now everybody hates OpenSea.
Yeah,
so bad. And the trading volume is low.
Yeah, people are going to be gravitating towards systems they like. Sell your toes online for a Pudgy Penguin, maybe Candle Daddy. I don't know if I could. I'll probably have to cut them off with like a really sharp knife or something. I don't want to saw them off though.
I'll sell my toes for a little Pudgy. Actually, probably a big one. Probably a big one.
Oh my!
But if you get, I won't do that.
I think people online are talking about pictures of you guys' toes. I hope you know that they don't want your full toes.
I'll definitely give you feet pictures for a Pudgy Penguin.
Let's do a biomechanic test. Are you going to sell your big toe or your little toe?
I would want to sell not the pinky toe. That's a really important one. People don't give the pinky toe enough credit. It holds you steady. And if your pinky toe is angled in, that causes a lot of knee problems.
Because one of them's on a medial axis, one's on a lateral axis.
Yeah, I'd probably try to get one in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the middle toe.
Yeah, I'd probably.
That wasn't the option.
Toe. I mean,
big or little?
Big or little?
Isn't your pinky toe vestigial?
No.
All right. Bad to crypto.
If you had
what coins are y'all looking at?
A 6 basically polydactyl that was inside that vestigial, like whales have vestigial femurs. I love that you did the fade on that. Therefore, they are non-functional, but they are still there. So no, the little toe is not vestigial. Cut off your toe and have fun balancing.
Yeah, it's C90 FTW. Little toe is gone. He's ready for the little toe to be gone. Let's check out, speaking of cutting your toes off, let's check out this leak of GTA 6. Pretty fun.
Oh, wait, we're not mature, but I guess we can watch it.
Lucia, do you know why you're here? Bad luck, I guess.
Yeah, here's the metaverse you all have been waiting for.
Real
It's literally so good.
She tried to make my world the way she thought it should be. Yeah, we were desperate then.
Oh my, that is realistic.
To have each other all
That's the way.
Who's back? The only way we're gonna get through this is by sticking together, being a team.
I love this. I love this.
Wait, can we go back to the billboard? Scroll back a little bit.
All right, where we got here?
A little bit more.
I mean, the gator in the gas station.
That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta.
Literally, Atlanta, baby.
Looks like
That's Atlanta. You know who that is
Atlanta.
right there?
Who's that?
Wow, we're so
that
ADD.
right there is Pink Flamingo. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. It's the street racing in Atlanta. That's literally Pink Flamingo.
Oh my god,
those are my
Where's this
friends.
billboard? Oh, Vice.
Keep going forward, a little farther. You're going for it, right?
Backward.
Oh, it
Look
says
at
bye.
this. I
go
just love
forward.
the graphics.
So that's the guy. He's going to be in a car, and there's going to be a white billboard behind him.
Okay, we look at.
Right there.
Ooh. It cures emotions.
Okay, I was wondering what that sign was.
Okay, hold on. I did hear from Taco, allegedly there's buy Bitcoin somewhere hidden in this trailer. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, on the original leak, it did say buy Bitcoin in the background.
Okay, so a guy leaked it last night.
Background, because the one we saw, it was very much so like photoshopped up front.
Well, yeah, well, it wasn't like in the back. It was just like put in there, imposed into the image.
DZ says, we got DZ in chat. He said, definitely Florida man the game.
Oh, yeah.
Look up Florida man in your birthday.
That looks sick, though. Like, I could waste so much time on Grand Theft Auto.
Did you know that alligators on average live for 100 years? So when they say see you later, they're not kidding.
Wait, that's
Speaking
cool.
of Florida, man,
That's
there's
cute.
some knowledge for
Cute
you.
little
It
fun
is.
fact.
That is super good, Al.
I used to think
That
Cyberpunk.
broke Owen.
Owen's giggling.
We got him. We got him, ladies and gentlemen.
I used to think Cyberpunk 2077 was like the best game, the perfect game for me, but
It's amazing.
This
Oh, this is going to be epic.
like
Also-
having both of those, that's all I need.
Also, they integrate crypto. Like, everyone's like, oh, the metaverse. It's like with the RP servers, GTA 5 is already the metaverse. It already is.
It
So you
is,
integrate
like-
that here. It's like literally other side, everything else is done.
I know.
Like,
Some
you're
people
just done.
rumors Nexa is going to be used in their game.
Yeah, I've heard that multiple times.
Yeah, we need to
is
find
that
out
based
if
off of
that's-
anything, or are these just random shills?
Could be just hope. We need to
It's
find
really
out.
random.
Would that mean you don't buy it for a while? Because the game's not coming out till 2026.
2025. They
It's
say.
2025. So yeah, I mean, you got plenty of time.
That's perfect time for me to get just overly rich and just sit there and play video games and shoot guns from my porch, though.
Video games.
Video games. You know what I mean?
GTA 6. I have one more thing to say about this.
Yeah,
Aiden
yeah.
Ross, if you guys know who he is, he's a
Yeah.
streamer, was complaining about the main character being a girl and having like the game perspective POV from a girl.
He grabbed a dude's junk yesterday.
Did he? But he was complaining about that. But I saw somebody, he was talking to somebody, and they said that the game GTA 6 is going to start out, you're a girl and you have a baby, and she like doesn't want the baby, so she leaves it somewhere, and she is in jail for some reason. She ends up going to like prison, and she has to escape from the jail, and that's how GTA 6 is going to start. I'm like, that sounds fun, doesn't
Crimson
it?
Caravan Company says that's because
already
they
on the
get
GTA 5 server.
Nexa on the GTA 5 server.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta
We gotta look
remember
at that.
too about starting as a girl. GTA 5 had 3 playable characters, and this is just our leak. So yeah, one playable character in GTA 6 confirmed to be a girl, and like out of X characters, we don't even know. I mean,
It's
there's
so
just
much
so
more
much.
fun
You're right. So
when it's a girl.
I couldn't imagine complaining about it.
So remember we were talking about that coin that went absolutely insane? Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu
Yeah, Bitcoin.
ticker Bitcoin. Someone put it as a ticker in the Apple Stock app.
Oh
So
my.
if this doesn't tell you we back. Seeing this come on the Apple Stock application directly, absolute perfect chaos that I'm here for cryptocurrency in breaking the traditional finance market over the head with a sledge. And, I think that's all we'll cover for today. I got tons of other altcoin stuff that I'm going to be going into tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be more focused on stacks. I'm going to be looking again at ICP. Yes, I'm still heavily overinvested in ICP, still feeling great about it. But along with that, I'm going to be looking at stacks, and maybe we'll go into the Cardano ecosystem, and I might be pushed over
Don't
the ledge.
tease me.
I want to get milk
Don't
tomorrow.
tease
I
me.
think I'm going to do milk. You know what we should do? I should sell all my XRP and then just hammer
There's
into
only
that.
10 million milk.
I should just sell all the
10
XRP I
million
have
milk.
left. That's what I should
That's
do.
it.
I know. That's what we should do. Maybe we'll do it live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. But yeah, we're going to go set up ATB, you guys. Thank you very much, Jeremy. It was awesome having you down here, man.
Oh man, it's great to be here.
We apologize. I don't know what you were expecting to happen.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to play Magic. That's
No.
what they put the bag over the head. They said, "Are you ready to play Magic?" And they brought us down here. I can't believe I just got to sit on a couch. It's so easy.
Man. It's chill. I appreciate you joining us, dude. It was good having you. BJ, of course, with his chaos and knowledge all at the same time, leaving you bewildered and slightly aroused. We have Hannah calling out all the chaos of GTA 6, these younger youth generations and all their chaotic things they do. Owen! I must see you.
Owen!
He's got to show his face now.
Owen!
He's got to do it.
No way.
Yes, he does.
Oh, that was fun.
He's getting really quick at it.
That
See,
was
just take a
quick.
big breath after there it is. Yeah. Nicole Minnis, you're absolutely amazing. Crypto Stevo, another G. Capture Mall, good having you here in the studio, you guys. Sin Diesel, Candle Daddy, Aaron Curry, just crushing it for us. Absolutely setting this place on the top of the rung when it comes to top crypto news. Shout out to you, dude. Wilma Fingerdew, Who's to 2JZ, Green Day Profits, Shake and Bake Bob from Accounting, and the rest. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow morning here on the Blockchain Basement. Good day.
До свидания.